I just find that fascinating. And it's in chapter 9, starting in verse 20. It's 20 and 21.
All right, well, because this bow is actually a relatively
it's not that long.
Shorter portion of things because it's...
but it's packed.
Oh, of course. I mean, we're instituting a significant thing.
It is packed.
Significant thing happens here. Yeah.
And we didn't even get to touch on, even a quarter of last week's portion. But that's why we get to come around.
Oh, every time.
Every year.
Yeah. Yeah, or you spend the whole time doing it and you end up recording for 6 hours.
Yeah. Like to talk about the burning bush and all its aspects and everything would probably be a 2 to 3 hour discussion pertaining to lining it up with scripture and all that.
I always think of Brother John's, how he'd get started on one particular thing, and then by the time he get somewhere 3 hours later, you're like, where did we start?
Yeah. How did we get here in the first place?
Exactly.
But he was very, very good.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Shall we just get rolling?
I think so. Are we going to start?
I think we are. Hey, welcome back here.
We won't get to anything.
We won't get to anything else. But I think if we start off,
something really exciting to share that we'll be getting to. So,
do we want to start right there? Or
no. We got to hold that till the.
What you looking for? Your timer. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a thing right here. I've got on my phone. I can look at it. We're at 5:10.
The timer.
Yes, kind of critical.
We better start again.
All right. Yeah, because we'd have been blabbing on and waiting on. Oh crap!
Yeah,
yeah, we could have easily gone forever. I didn't even look down either.
I knew I was forgetting something. X all that out. Tom's going to pray again.
Okay, amen.
We'll see you next week. That's beautiful. It really is.
Cool.
That is very cool.
Oh yeah, it's very exciting on there, and that's something other. The element of John's words that started to ring so clear. It's like, oh my gosh, behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. There it is.
I know. There it is. When we were talking about on the phone, and you were starting to, I'm like, and like I said, I was almost embarrassed. We just covered this 2 months ago, and yet
we didn't.
I was looking at something else and didn't pay as much attention. I know what it says, but yet. Yes. I'm thinking about something else. I love that. That's the beauty of coming together.
Yeah, be able to banter. And it's so fun, too, of just when we're just looking through here and seeing different phrases that pop out. I love that.
Yeah. And then from there, it takes you to the sheep and goat judgment.
Oh, yeah.
After that, it's carried forward into the New Testament, and...
and we didn't make it all the way there. We just referenced it.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Because there are some things I wanted to point out that there was just absolutely no time for. We talked about on the phone how when God referenced the lamb, it started with a lamb, totally nondescript. Mm-hmm. Here's a lamb. Mm-hmm. All right? And then after that, this cotton-picking bar keeps popping down and cutting off half my words, and I don't know how to stop it from doing that. But it starts out, a lamb, and that's in verse 3 of 12. And then it goes on, and the household is too small, then he and his nearest neighbor shall take according to the number of persons, according to what each can eat. You shall make for yourself the lamb. So now we're getting a little more up close and personal with it. Lamb. And then in verse 5, then it goes,
very specific.
Your lamb.
Mm-hmm.
See, and this is the other interesting thing about Passover is here. There's no high priest to slaughter the lamb for you. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah. Right. Well, what's interesting? thing is, reality is, when you would bring your lamb to the priest anyway,
they slaughtered it themselves.
No, you slaughtered it yourself.
You
it wasn't the priest. They took the blood, caught the blood, then they're the ones that threw it on the altar. But you're always the ones that did
Technically, it's not a Levitical feast because a high priest isn't doing it for you. High priest cannot bring you salvation. Your pastor can't bring you salvation. Your YouTube video can't bring you salvation. Only your lamb. He is your lamb. That's what brings you salvation.
And it only becomes your lamb when you submit your will.
Yeah. Because, you can't kill your neighbor's lamb. You can invite your neighbor to come in if your household's too small. I found that fascinating also.
Yeah, really. If it ends up being because you have to consume
the entire thing.
Yeah, and what if there is any left over, it has to be consumed with fire.
That's right.
So it ends up being its own burnt offering there. Something cool, too, with regard to the element of the lamb part. Think about how it ties in with our recognition of communion. Okay. You have blood being represented by the wine. Juice, okay. Yeah. But then you have this representation of bread, which in this case really should be matzah. Okay, it should be unleavened bread. All right, taken in. But what does the bread represent? Always starts, this is my body.
Which is broken.
Okay. Which is broken for you. Now, my body, though. I know in my life, whatever, growing up there, that, as younger, you just did this. Hey, good, we got something to eat.
Yeah.
That little thing passes
around. You don't really understand the
no.
and all that.
But then but as it goes on there, the element of recognition of the body of the lamb. Mm-hmm. What's one of the elements that ended up being for with regard to this Passover? It actually gave you strength for this initial journey.
For the journey.
Of the going out.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the last meal that
before you
having.
hit the road.
Yeah.
And that is the cool thing, because after the lamb is yours, and what is the next thing that comes after eating the lamb, being covered by the blood of Christ, is go. That's the very next thing to come. It's the Great Commission.
Yeah, it is.
The Great Commission is go.
And guess what go is? It's bo.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm thinking about, the Jewish meaning of that. I can't help it, and I've been around some bad BO. I'm here to tell you. Holy cow. It's like, man.
Anyway, there's so much in here. It's so fun.
We'd literally be talking for the next 3 hours about this, but...
Oh, yeah, just in this one. Because the thing is, I love, too, is as soon as you get into then of actual Passover and the actual celebration of Pesach now and things, all the representation which is fascinating within there, the development of that tradition that has its origins right here.
It has its origin, but they build on it.
Built into these things on there, but the representation of things that have transpired within that, it's fascinating how it still points to Messiah over
and they don't
over.
Deliberately do that, but it keeps pointing the finger.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
From everything that they read, how they lay out the table.
What I love is things is just, just the element of taking the unleavened bread, whatever, and you have a stack of 3. You have the 1, 2, 3, and you always take the center one, and that's the one you break. Okay, it's always the middle one, which was representative of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Whatever. It was always the center one that was broken. You take part of that and you hide it away, and this other part then you begin sharing. And then, of course, that part that gets hidden away, the fecal man or whatever, gets returned at the end of the Passover, so you can actually complete it. But he comes back. That's just a cool imagery. It's so cool. Yeah, it's fun. And just looking at the actual unleavened bread, too, just the piercing of it and the stripes. There's all sorts of cool imagery that evokes cool stuff. But anywho, all right, so our next one is picking right up and actually picks up in 13:15.
It picks up in 13:15.
17.
And this is the consecration of the firstborn. So the first principle is being given. There's the principle of the consecration of the firstborn.
Oh, yeah, well, verse 13.
And why that happens.
And
interestingly enough, like the firstborn of the critters. There's a way to even redeem your critters. So your donkey has a firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
You have option A is to sacrifice him. Option.
I don't think a donkey would be.
Any firstborn.
Options?
Any firstborn of whether it be human being is required to be redeemed. But with like a critter, you got your cattle, you got your donkeys, you got whatever it may be, the firstborn has to be either sacrificed, but there's a provision. Say you love this little baby donkey that just came out, and you don't want to sacrifice a donkey, but you're able to redeem it by offering up a lamb, to redeem the donkey,
right?
To redeem the firstborn donkey,
right?
Secondborn donkey is irrelevant. No.
Well, it's the redeeming there. That's sanctified to be the firstborn, first offspring of every womb among the sons of Israel.
A lot of
man and beast.
The interesting thing about that is everybody thinks about the redemption of man. The work of Jesus Christ was for the redeeming of man. But no,
redemption of the earth. It's for redemption of everything. All
for
creation.
The entire creation.
It's all creation.
That's why you have given in the Torah the provision to redeem the critters.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's exactly what Jesus Christ did on the cross. It's just not mankind. It's far more extensive than that.
It's all
it is
of
all of creation.
Yep.
But there was only one way to redeem that donkey, and that was through the blood of the Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It is. And there you have right there, verse 13. But every first offspring of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb.
Yeah.
But if you do not redeem it,
then you have to offer it.
You got to break its neck.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Now, that could be tough to break a donkey's neck, but it is a baby after all.
Isn't that wild, though?
It is.
Yeah, the patterns and principles that are being laid out in this whole scenario, they apply.
Yeah. They really apply. And that's why I really love about what's coming up is you can actually see redemption for creation.
Yes.
Here. Not just merely redemption for man. But it is a trickle down because man is the one that has to follow through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, has to respond.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting reference in verse 15. And it came about when Pharaoh, this is 13:15, was stubborn about letting us go, that the Lord killed every firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrificed to the Lord the males, the first offspring of every womb, but every firstborn of my sons I redeem.
Mm-hmm.
So it shall serve as a sign on your hand and as phylacteries on your forehead. For with a powerful hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. So part of that whole redemption pattern being shown, whatever, it ties right in with the final plague there.
Yeah. It really is I wish we could do a 3 hour.
Leads the people.
But we can't do a 3 hour.
Yeah, well, we get to all because we still are right at the thing, and then we have, of course, one more time, Pharaoh.
He's going to do it again.
Yeah, we'll pick up on that one though, because that's part of the next portion, so we're good.
Yeah.
We'll be able to do that.
We have cause to get all excited all over again.
Of course, we never even touched any of the Haftarah portion, which is interesting because Bo is repeated, and that's one of the reasons it ties in so much, is repeated over and over and over and over and over within, I think is it Jeremiah? I can't remember where the portion was. It seemed like it was Jeremiah 46 or something like that. We didn't get to that, and we didn't get to Jeremiah 46. It occurs over and over and over and over and over again, where it just keeps repetition of Bo of going. And anyway,
and we didn't get to the New Testament.
Oh no! Well, thing is though, we didn't get to the actual gospel portion that is referenced there, but we made a very strong reference.
Oh yes, we made strong reference.
Yeah,
good strides towards it. Because that's part of this is to see that connection, that interweaving of the completion within the New Testament.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
And I've got to get ready for life group.
And I have to, oh, they come over here.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to head to the church. My leg's dead. Seriously.
Is it asleep?
Yeah. I better just sit still and not try to walk for a
Are you
second.
serious? It's like totally asleep.
It is. It's totally asleep. Like, uh-oh.
Oh, God.